Welcome to Beyond Barber School. I am your host, Barbara Doza. This podcast, Beyond Barber School, is a space where listeners will hear stories from barbers, educators, and founders that are elevating the barbering industry in and out of the barbershop. Our hope here is to empower barbers with the knowledge necessary to take a courageous next step in their barber journey. Welcome to Beyond Barber School. Today we got Cray. We got Cray on the podcast, right? We got Cray and Gerada on the podcast. And a little context here, I first found out about Cray actually through the homie Michael Cavanagh. So shout out to Michael Cavanagh. Cavanagh was actually planning to move down to LA, and he told me he was linking up with you. He was linking up with Cray and was going to be cutting at his shop that he was opening up. And so that day, I think when Cavanagh told me, I started following Cray and kind of just been following his journey ever since. And, we connected along the way when he was, opening up his own shop. So Cray, congrats, man, on opening up your first shop. I know it's been a little bit of time now, but you did it surviving the pandemic. You had a suite or loft for some years. But talk to me, man, how's it feel successfully opening up your first barbershop and now like having a team of barbers like on your squad?
Man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. It's definitely a struggle, but it's a beautiful struggle. People think they can just go and start up a shop or do whatever, and just you gonna be all booked out, all chairs running and fully pumping. But that's clearly not the case. But it's a beautiful process.
Mm-hmm.
And being surrounded with the people that I'm around, it's definitely helped ease the situation. And it's definitely been one hell of a journey, man.
And so we're recording this even March 2022. And when did you open up again? I can't remember. When was the exact open date?
Dude, honestly, I couldn't man, I'm actually confused on that one too, because we were supposed to have like an original open date, which was after the first lockdown, or it was like when they first let us open, and then we ended up not, and we held off for like another year because we were just like, yo, we don't want to announce we're open. But it's been like almost a little bit over a year now that we've done it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to circle back with you on that one, because man, now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah.
yo, that's actually a great question.
Got to get
I
that start
definitely
date put on the calendar for those anniversaries.
I know, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's all good.
But November 7th, 20. Dang, that was 2 years ago. Wow. Never mind. November 7th, 2020.
Okay.
That's the date.
Coming up on 2 years then. Probably about
Coming
a
up
year
on,
and a half.
man, COVID got my timeline all messed up.
I believe it. Yeah, one of the last episodes I did with Ethan Mortensen in Utah, they were opening up their third location during COVID, and it was just like crazy supply chain stuff. I feel like opening up anyone who opened up a barbershop or was planning to during that time, I just have immense respect. There's like a certain club of people who were planning on opening around that time that you made it through.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I went into the archives, and so I saw an old post actually of your cousin who was cutting your hair. So let's talk origin stories. I love talking origin stories. How did you get into barbering, and was your cousin at all? Was he a part of the inspiration? Like, talk to us.
Yeah, I'll definitely say he was for sure a part of the inspiration, because he was the one that gave me like my first like lineup, crispy, like it was a taper. Like I didn't know what a taper. I used to just get like 8 all around, and then just square it off. And then it was back when the spiky hair was like in style. So brother, got to be glued. I don't know if you ever used that,
Of
but
course, I
that's what I was
remember.
using to style my hair.
Oh.
So it was like, bro, and I just would spike it, and that was pretty much it. And then he gave me my first like lineup, tapered me up, and like for that point, I always had like I liked hair. I was just like, yeah, I like looking good. It looks cool. And then there was one day that my aunt, she had asked me to cut my other cousin's hair because this cousin, he wasn't there. He was off in the military or Air Force actually.
Mhm.
And so he wasn't around. And so she asked me to do it and I was just like, all right. And I completely butchered his haircut. But I had fun doing it. I used the you know those guards that it has like it's like the left ear taper. So
The
it
left
goes
and
from
right guards.
yes, bro. So bro, I thought if I just shaved it across the side of his head like that, it would just blend because it's like, yo, one side's cutting shorter and then this other side's cutting longer. And yeah, bro, I just completely butchered his haircut. And then from that point, I was like, yo, this is fun though. So I started just cutting the homies
Mhm.
and just doing that. And then one thing led me to another. And shoot, man, I started cutting in college. And yeah, bro, I was supposed to get a job. And my brother was just like, yo, why don't you just cut hair? Because I went to Cal State Fullerton
Mhm.
and I was living in the dorms and I was like trying to get the job and balance school. And he was just like, dude, you can just cut hair, charge whatever you want to charge, and then you can just do it around school. So I started doing that and just started building clientele up at the school. And then me and the homies was cutting in the bathroom. I met one other dude that was cutting hair too. And we both played ball and then we both cut hair. So it was like we was known as like the bathroom barbers.
Bro.
And then it just trickled down from there and just kept going. And here we are today, man.
Man, we haven't talked about this. We have similar origin stories. I was a bathroom barber at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, man, in the
Oh,
freshman
word,
year.
bro.
That was it. I was an RA my second year, so I had a building of like 80 freshman guys. And so that was how I got a big start was I turned my room because I had my own room. And so
Uh-huh.
I would cut hair out of my room. I had like the TV set up. I like saved up
Oh,
enough
that's
money.
tough.
Like, yeah, bro, it was legit. Wait, did you end up finishing school and getting your degree, or did you?
I
What
did.
happened there?
I
You did.
did. I finished school. I got my degree in HR. I got my bachelor's. Yeah, and then as I was doing that, I was like, I think it was like my last like year or two. It was like what my last 2 years of school, and it was time to do like internships. And I was kind of like, bro, I don't know if I want to do this because it was pretty much like a cubicle life type. And I was just kind of like, dude, I'm not really like about this. And then it just kind of seemed like I was gonna hit a dead end with that, and I just but I was like, man, dude, I want to finish school because like that's a waste if I just drop out now.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, I was like, bro, I'm gonna just finish school. So I finished that, and right after I was done with school, I told my parents, I was like, look, I'm gonna go get my barber's license. I was like, bro, I'm gonna cut hair, and they was just like, all right, cool, like yo, that's what you want to do, run it up then. And then I went and just got my barber license right after I graduated college, and
Dang.
then yeah,
That's what's up, dude. My joke is I was like, I got my bachelor's in communications and I got my master's in barbering.
hey, yo,
It's
that's facts.
like, hey, they handed me a pair of masters too in barber college too. So I was like, hey, go, it's a different type of masters.
Hey, bro, the Masters. That's the OG Clipper.
Yeah, right. Okay, so dang, that's dope. I actually didn't know that about your story and how it all started. But so okay, it seemed like you were always kind of cutting solo then. Like scrolling even back, like cutting out your house or even like cutting in the dorms, like cutting in the bathrooms. What do you yeah, and you were cutting even in or you still have your suite that you still cut in even now. Like what do
Yeah,
you enjoy
yeah.
about like the solo chair environment?
The most thing that I enjoy is probably the higher level of like customer service and just the personability of it. And it's like it's almost like a one-on-one experience type thing where it's like there's no extra noise, no nothing, it's just you and your client, and then you get a real feel and a real connection, and you can kind of relate. And it's like you like people always say like, yo, you're not just my barber or whatever, you my therapist,
Mhm.
stuff like that. And it's like it's true, they confide in you, and like being able to like have that kind of relationship and that connection right there, that's like a life lasting relationship right there. That's definitely the best part about it for sure.
I feel it. Okay, so there's you. I mean, you've probably seen it. We all seen it. There's more and more barbers that are doing the solo chair, whether it's the suites or I feel like I mean you've been doing it for years now. Like, what are your thoughts on this kind of movement of like towards that suite solo chair environment? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I definitely think like, like I've been doing it ever since I started. So it's like, yo, I can't knock it.
Hmm.
And if you got the clientele to like, help that, definitely, dude, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But one thing that has kind of changed my perception on things was someone once told me that if you want to move fast, then move alone. But if you want to go far, you got to move together.
Mm.
And that's what's kind of like, you know, I wanted to bring that same kind of vibe where it's like you could still have a personable, like I guess you would say um like a personable experience, but still do that within a barbershop like vibe where it's kind of like, because like I've seen that a lot of barbershops are usually like crammed and there's like maybe like 15 chairs and stuff like that. But I think it's still possible to get that same kind of one-on-one experience within a barbershop if you got the right people with you. Because that right there, it's like I believe in energy and that how energy attracts energy. And you're gonna be with, or you're gonna be around the same people that you got the same energy around,
Yeah.
and that's how it's been at the shop so far. Like, me, Noel, Mike, we all vibing on the same frequency right now. So it's kind of like it's cool because like even our clients will kind of like interact with each other, and it's like it's definitely a different vibe, but it's still like personal at the same time.
Yeah, I feel it. I just had a thought too. You studied HR, now you own your own shop. You still kind of in HR now because you got people on your team, you
Exactly.
know.
Yeah, yeah. Human resources.
For real, man. I mean, it totally applies to barbering too. I mean, you're dealing with people and everything, so all types of people. Okay, let's talk about an element that has really stood out to me in your setup, in your suite, but also barbershop. And it's the plants, man. It's the plants. Like you have your own even separate IG account for plants. I think it was 47 plants and counting, I think is something that I read. I don't know if that's up to date, but how many plants you got right now? Is 47 accurate or you got more?
I definitely like in the space. I don't think I got 47 anymore because I gifted a lot of plants, but they are growing every day. And then like, dude, I usually just take cuttings and then just multiply them.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk. Wait, when and where did this passion come from? I feel like in a sense, plants are kind of trending too. I feel like I've been seeing them more. But talk to me when, yeah, when and where did the passion come from?
So that came from, I remember I had seen it was Julius's setup. You know Julius Caesar?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so he had these plants that was just dangling from his ceiling, and I was like, "Yo, that's cold." I was like, "Bro, I need to
yeah.
get one of those." And then I remember I had got one, and my dog tore it up, ripped it to pieces, and I was just like, "Dang!" And that plant was struggling, and I just left it there. But then I seen every day that it was like it would come back though, and then I'd have a new leaf here and there, and I was like, "Oh, that is kind of tight." So I
Yeah.
like did a little bit more research, seeing how plants was growing, and like it's just crazy because like plants like relate so much to life. How it's like, bro, you plant one seed, bro, and that can be the fruit bearing of like of a whole tree. And like, and I just think about that. I just relate like my plants to like life. It's like, oh, you just plant one seed and something can grow from it. Yeah, bro. And then now I just been collecting my favorite ones. Anything that I see, if I see it online and I like, I'd be like, bro, what is this? Or I have this dude when I first moved to LA, and he actually has like this little spaces in I think he's in Chinatown.
Hmm.
His name's at Kim Tai Garden, and he just blessed me with all the plants. Like almost like 90% of my plants in the space is from that guy right there.
Wow.
And he was actually one of the people that was featured on that support small business
Oh yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
because it was I think it was Julius, uh, Kim Thai Garden, and then Bohemian Chai. Those are like, dude. Backstory on that: those three were the reason why I chose to do those three businesses on the support small business was
Mhm.
because Julius, one, was like a mentor and a big bro to me in the game,
Mhm.
and he was the one that, like, talked about business, and like he built his up and his small business, and his is thriving as well. And he always just looked out for me, so I was like, okay, I want to do it on him. And then Kim Thai Garden, when I first came out, and he was just another small business that helped me, took care of me with all my plants, all my whole setup and everything. And then when I had first moved to LA, Bohemian Chai, his name is Blackie. He
Mhm.
was like one of the most welcoming people, and he had just started too. So he was just like, "Yo," I remember because I walked in and I was like, "Do you guys have Wi-Fi?" And he's like, "Yeah, bro, you can." I was like, "Yeah, I just moved out here." And he's like, "Bro, you can come in anytime and just use my Wi-Fi and just chill. You don't even have to get nothing." And so for like 2 weeks while I was waiting for them to install my internet, I just kicked it down there, shook a lot of hands, met a lot of good people,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's why I did all three of them on the t-shirt. So now I'm like,
Bro.
every year it's gonna be definitely something where I just try to emphasize on different small businesses.
Yeah, bro. That's what's up. Okay, let's talk. Cause my first plant was we started out with the peace lily, which a friend of
Okay.
mine was like, yo, super resilient. They're pretty low maintenance. Like they'll tell you when they need to be watered. But all right, if
Oh yeah,
somebody's trying
yeah.
to get into the plant game, what's your recommendation? Like you got a recommendation for a starter plant?
Oh, definitely. I would either say the golden pothos because, bro, it's the most generic plant, and it's like some people are really like people are impatient, bro. They want to see growth like now. They want, bro, like they don't want to wait. Like all good things come to those who wait. But I understand the impatience.
Sure.
So golden pothos, those grow crazy and they grow extremely bitey and beautiful. So it's like I would definitely recommend those. And it's like, yo, to kill that plant, like you really got to try and kill it. Like you got to overwater it. You got to beat it down, do whatever to try and just kill it. Otherwise, bro, you just let it rock. Bro, I went the plant that my dog tore up was the golden pothos, and I remember I went like there was one point where I went like maybe like a month and a half, did not water it at all because I just forgot, and it
Mm.
had like maybe like 5 6 leaves on it, and now to this day it's like, bro, it's like maybe it's like 10 10 12 feet long, and that thing's been through some battles. So I'm like, yo, anyone wants to start collecting plants,
Yeah.
pothos definitely a great starter plant, or a monstera.
Okay. That's that
Either
hashtag,
one of
right?
those.
Monster Met Mondays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, and
Uh,
that the monstera. That's one of my favorite plants, though, just because I just like seeing the little fenestrations and how every leaf is different no matter
mm.
what.
But I feel like there's threads here to talk about hair for sure. Even it being a different plants a little bit different, even it growing back and like taking care of it. Like I feel like
Oh yeah, bro. You
you
you, you can chop down plants the way you chop down hair, and
easy, right?
that's the crazy part too. Yeah.
Gosh, that's good, man. Okay, let's talk. You know what? I'm gonna go out of order here actually, because you were just talking about your shirt. So support small businesses. You designed a shirt that you just were just kind of touching on there that says support small business. I'm wearing it right now. If they could see the video, they could see I'm wearing it. Honestly, one of my favorite shirts I wear all the time. On the back, it has a list of ways to support small businesses. So talk to us. Where did you get the idea to design the shirt?
Dude, I had just seen I seen it on, I forgot where I seen the picture on. It was just like, I think it was like four ways to support a small business.
Mm,
And I was just like, yo, like that's hella true. It was like one of the my favorite ones is don't ask for free stuff. And it's just like, bro, it's like people always want to, like, from a small business, they always want to ask for like a discount or like for free or something like that. And it's like, bro, you don't go to Gucci, you don't go to Louis, you don't go nowhere and ask them for free? Why would you come here and ask for a discount or for some for free?
Dang.
And it just never made sense to me. And I seen that and I was like, bro, like this is probably one of like the dopest, most realist things I've ever seen. And I was just like, I was like, dude, what if I was like, bro, there's so many small businesses that I like do business with. And I was like, bro, why don't I just make this t-shirt and then just run with it and see if like how this idea just plays out. It was literally just an idea. And I was just like, yeah, let me just try it. I asked my boy that he does clothing. I was like, dude, can you help me? Can you help me do this? And then he's just like, yeah, that's easy. And then I talked to my videographer and I asked him, like, I had like a little vision on like, I was like, bro, can you make a video that, where it just looks something like this? Like, yo, I just want to, put all these small businesses on and give them like more exposure or whatever. And he's like, yeah. And then boom, that's how everything came out. And I was just like, yo, like exactly how I like picture. I was like, bro, this is, when you do something and then it just comes out like really like shitty, and you're just
Mhm.
like, yeah, this isn't what I was like planning. But then
Yeah.
this one actually, I was just like, wow, because dude, there's a lot of ideas that I've just tried and then like complete fail, and then this one I was like, yo, this one hit,
Dude,
and yeah, bro.
what's it like? What's it like seeing people rep your shirt? Like, I'm sure there's probably some people who you don't even know who maybe even bought the shirt. Like, what's that like?
Dude, it's definitely it's truly a humbling experience, bro. Like, and just to see the amount of like support and love that like ones truly have, like it's really crazy. Like, do people all over the world? Like, I forgot I sent one to Canada, um,
Mm.
and then I sent one to like Wyoming, bro. And like I was just like, bro, what? I was like, dude, and then yeah, man, it was really crazy.
Yeah. I feel like it also came on the backdrop to, I can't remember when you dropped it, but coming off the backdrop of 2020, even in supporting small businesses, I feel like even the time of the drop of the shirt, feel like it meant a lot, um, to just like the culture, even just in what small businesses were going through during that time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Like it was literally like perfect timing on like everything, It's
Yeah.
just it all just aligned itself, and then I just went with the flow.
Okay, so we'll shift gears talking a little bit about mentorship and coaching. Because when this was the other part was Cavanagh, he had told me that he went down and I want to say he did like a one-on-one workshop with you that he had talked to me about one time when he was giving me a cut. And so, and I want to say before you opened up the shop and we talked, you were like doing your solo thing, had your suite, but it seemed like even a reason to open up the shop was even to like give back and like share techniques and, kind of collab with other barbers. And so, can you tell us a little bit about like even those workshops, like those one-on-one workshops that you've done, and like what do they look like, and what is yeah? Talk us through what those workshops are.
Yeah, so pretty much I've done a few of them. I haven't done too many now just cuz I've been all over the place, but pretty much like I just asked them, like, for me, like if I'm going to somebody to learn, there's a reason why I want to go to them, right? Whether it be like how to fade, how to do scissor work, whatever. So it's like one of the first things I ask, I'm like, bro, you hitting me up like, okay, what do you want? What do you want to know? Like, so I know what to work on, as opposed to like I've seen a lot where it's like, it's just the same generic like teaching all the same thing, where it's like, dude, sometimes people might already notice, or they don't want to work on it. They want to work on like, fading or something like that. Even though it's like, like that's what we grew up learning, but it's like maybe you like the way I fade. So I would kind of just like see what it is. Like I would always hit them up like, yo, well, what do you want to like work on? And they would just give me like basic breakdown details, and then I'd go off of that, like, okay, so then I'll set up after that. Then I would set up how exactly I'm going to teach this and show like my ways of doing things. And then I always say, like, dude, you take everything that you learn and you just absorb it all, and then just give it back in your own creative way.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
bro, like everything that I've learned, like I've learned some from everybody, even my clients, bro. Like I still learn from my clients. Like I learned how to line up differently from one of my clients the other day. And it's like, bro, I've been doing this for like a decade, damn near a decade, and it's like, oh, this dude just taught me, and he don't even cut hair. I was like, bro, hey, that's fire the way you did that. I was like, dude, I'm gonna definitely take that into account. Or like, dude, they like, cause bro, what people don't realize is that they like sometimes your client knows their hair best, even though you're the one cutting it. It's like, bro, they deal with it every day,
Mm.
you know. So it's definitely, like stuff like that. You just taking everything and being able to always be an open book and learning. So yeah, so I would definitely just figure out what it is they want to know, set all that up, and then we just go from there. And then usually it's kind of like I have like one or two like models that are like have the hair that they want to learn to cut with, whether
Mm.
or either that or doll work,
Yeah.
and then we just go from there. And then I'll do a haircut and show them how I would approach a certain haircut, and then that's pretty much it.
So what's it like? Because I feel like, yeah, that ongoing education, just that mentality or perspective, like, you can always be learning. I feel like if trying to prevent that mentality of like, oh, I've arrived, what does it look like for your shop, even like your team, to continue to like develop or teach each other, show each other stuff? Like, is there like workshops or like collaborations that you guys do in your shop to just promote that ongoing like education and ongoing growth?
Right now, we definitely that's definitely something that we want to do. But one of the emphasis that we've been working on right now is trying to get everybody booked and just grinding and building up the shop. But we definitely want to like um I definitely like the way that Paradox runs things. Like Paradox. Oh yeah,
Yeah, in
Paradox.
the
They're
Bay.
close
Yeah.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I like the way that they always do workshops and stuff. And we try to do workshops, or like maybe not a workshop, but we'll do something where it's like if one of us is cutting and no one else is cutting, well, everyone would just watch what he's doing, and we'll all just ask questions and just definitely pick each other's brains, because out of everyone there, it's like, yo, we all got to be learning something new every day.
Mm.
And then if I learn something or they learn something, we just tell each other like, yo, I did it this way. What do you guys think? And then we just kind of build off of each other from there.
Yeah, I feel I love that. Even like if your chair is empty, it's like, well, what can you be doing? It's like, oh, I'll go watch
Exactly.
someone do a cut, or you're not just sitting there scrolling. Like, how can you still work? Be
Yeah,
working.
facts.
Um, all right, shifting gears again. We got to talk about ball because you're a hooper. You're a hooper. And I've seen the tape. So let's talk about it. How long you been hooping for? Take us back.
Shoot, I've been hooping for like, I don't even know, like maybe like, what? How old am I? I'm 20, about to be 28. I'm about to be 28. Since I was 8, so like, damn, 20 years, bro.
Hey, that's what's up. How would you describe your game? Because I seen you got some handles. So how would you describe your game?
I guess I would say I'm a poor man's Chris Paul.
Did you hoop like in high school and stuff or what?
Yeah, I played high school ball, and yeah, I went to a super small high school, like, bro, like 50 kids.
Okay.
And it was funny too, because people would be like, "Oh yeah, I play varsity basketball," but then like they'd be like, "Dang, you play varsity?" I'm like, "Bro, varsity is the only thing we had. We didn't even have no JV." So that's like, that's all I had. So I
Dang.
just laughed.
Dang.
But yeah, it was a super small school. We were, bro. I'm gonna keep it a being with you, bro. We were trash, definitely trash.
I was a hooper too, so
Facts.
that's why even we had to talk about it. I'm not very tall, but I was a point guard. Same thing was varsity. Well, granted, we had a JV and freshman team, so I guess it was probably a little bit bigger school than yours. But that's yeah. I, when I watch the tapes here, I'm like, all right, maybe I'm down in LA. Who knows? Get on a run together.
Hey, we got to let me know, bro, because we be me and Mike, we be playing like, or we used to. He actually, I don't know if he's talked to you, but he
Hmm.
started working at Paul Mitchell too. He locked in a gig there as well. Dude,
Dang.
Mike is, hey man, he's paving his own way, bro. It's amazing to see everything that he's doing right now.
That's Dude, he's a different breed. I remember he
Yeah,
came
bro.
we'll do a little shout out on Cavanagh right now and give him a spotlight. He came when I was in barber college. Cavanagh actually came and taught a class to the school, and I just remember, yeah, I was like, he hadn't been licensed for too long, but he came back, and the techniques that he was teaching us and just the way he was talking about hair and just his eagerness to grow, and just like there was a humility, but like you knew he had skills, and it's just cool to follow his journey. Like
Oh
I'm
yeah,
excited for what's gonna
bro.
happen for him.
So when I met Michael Cavanagh, it was that I was taking the Menspire salon class. It was like a haircutting class, and this dude, because I had no idea who he was, you know, and he's like, "Yo, what's up, bro? You're Cray," and like I was just like, I was like, "Yo," he's all like, "Oh, you probably don't know me. I follow you on Instagram though, bro," and I was just like, "Ah, damn, bro, like." I don't even be looking through that sometimes because like I had fallen off on like posting, bro. That is like one of the hardest things is freaking keeping up to date with posting and just
Sure.
being active. And yeah, bro, I followed him on the spot and he was just like, bro, like he's like, yo, yeah, I follow you, bro, and this, that. And then he's just like, he didn't think that I would like be taking classes and all that. He's like, bro, why are you here?
Mm.
Like I was just like, I'm here to learn. What you mean? Why? And then from that day, like I did we all eat lunch together because that was when there was Carlo Doza and Jasper too. They're from Chicago. They
Hmm.
own I don't know if you ever heard of Fernwood Barbershop.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, in Chicago, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
in
that's
Chicago.
that's them, and they came down too, and all of us were just kicking it and just doing hair,
Dang.
and then um yeah, bro. After that day, that's when Mike reached out to me after that and was like,
Yeah,
"Yo, if you're ever doing any one-on-ones, like, can I
yeah,
can I get in on that?" And then that's when we linked up, and then we actually, uh, I asked him what he wanted to learn, and he just needed more work with like the scissors and fading. So that's what we worked on. We worked on that all day, and then he was just man, just eager, just excited to learn, and just a complete open book. And
yeah,
then that's when we talked. I was like, he was like, he felt like he was just stuck, and he was just like, I want to keep like growing, I want to keep moving. And I was like, yo, I might have something cooking soon. And he's just like, yo, let me know. And then,
yeah,
bro, like, cause dude, that's a huge risk to take. That's a huge jump.
sure.
And I remember I hit him up, and this was like maybe like 7, 8 months later, and
Mm.
he's like, "Bro, I'm in there, no
Yeah,
hesitation." But then
yeah, ready to
COVID
go.
happened. COVID did happen, so it kind of like
Dude,
put a back hold on it, and he was just like, we were just like, all right, we're gonna just wait. And then right when the first lift was on, he's like, "Yo, I got a place," and was
yeah,
already moved out, and he just started cutting, bro, within that same week. And I was just like, "Yo, my man's really did it." And we was talking we had like a whole hour conversation on my balcony,
mm,
and he was just talking about, yeah, I'm gonna move, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And I was like, sometimes most people will talk about something,
mhm,
but they won't ever actually do it. And he was like, bro,
yeah,
stuck to his word and just made the push, bro.
yeah,
And it was like, I was like, dude, this this guy right here is something else.
yeah. I might have to just bring Cavanagh on the podcast. Honestly, sit
Hey,
down with
you
him just
need
to.
to get him
I
on one,
should.
bro. That's
I think I just
he's a
decided that
different breed.
Cavanah's coming on the podcast for sure. Mark my words.
Hey,
That's
yes,
even
sir.
the networking that takes place at education events, like going to take the Menspire class. It's crazy how it's an investment in yourself and in your craft and in your career just to go, but also who you meet there. Like, yes, you're learning from the educators, but you never know what opportunities might come, who you might run into, and then end up moving to a different city and working together. Like that's kind of nuts, actually. I didn't know
Yeah.
that's how you guys initially linked up. But okay, wait, let's get back to the Hooper part real quick because I want to ask you this question. Being a Hooper, and I know you have cut certain NBA players. We won't name names or any, but do you feel like being a Hooper, like yourself, does that help with customer service when you are even serving that type of clientele?
Actually, it truly doesn't. At the end of the day, like, you know, whoever they are, dude, everybody just wants to be treated like a client, They just want to be respected and taken care of. And like, bro, most of the times that I like cut any of these people, we don't even talk or like I'll be like, "Oh, so what do you do?" It's like, bro, I already know what you do. You know what I mean? But it's like, bro, I
Sure.
just got to be cordial and
Yep.
just, and then they just talk about themselves, and then we just chop it up about life while I'm cutting them, and I just take care of them like any other client. And like that's the thing, like I wouldn't give like nobody extra TLC when it's just like, bro, like anyone that sits in my chair or is letting me put the clippers to their head, I'm gonna give them my best work regardless of who you are.
Yep.
I don't care about none of that. Man, you gotta just treat everybody with love.
You could totally overthink it probably of like, oh shoot, someone's gonna be in my chair. Like I need to do something different, or but it's just be yourself and just treat them like a human. They're a client sitting in chairs just like any other cut, and not to get too nervous or not to get, oh, I
Oh,
gotta.
that's facts.
It's
Yeah, bro.
just
Like, dude, I was when I cut when I cut Kendrick Perkins, bro. Like, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous because I was like, bro, I actually like know this guy, and it was funny, bro, because like my dad hated this guy when he was on the Celtics,
sure.
and like I had to tell him, I was like, hey yo, my dad hated you, dog, and he just laughed at me because he was just like, bro, it was just a great conversation with him. He's super
Yeah.
cool, down to earth guy, and then, bro, most of the people like celebrities and stuff like that, like, bro, they just want to be fresh, and they don't even care. Like sometimes they just be like, yo, just hey, just clean it up, line me up,
Yeah.
and then that's it.
Yeah.
Super simple.
Yeah.
I mean, or at least I have yet to deal with someone that's been extremely like complicated.
Sure. Okay, we're wrapping up here. We talked about a lot of good stuff. There's a lot more we could probably dive into for sure. But the name of this podcast here, right, Beyond Barber School, is to, kind of obviously interview like barbers, entrepreneurs, and founders thinking about life after barber school. And I think, I mean, you're a perfect example of the many right creative opportunities that you can have with your barber license. And so, I mean, any closing thoughts as we wrap up in the sense of, I don't know, some words of wisdom to pass on to maybe a barber that's just starting out or a barber that's about to graduate and kind of get this thing started with the license?
2 words: delayed gratification, bro. Like everyone's trying to be in a rush to make X amount of money or cut so and so, but it's just like, bro, you got to just take it one day at a time, and all those days of accumulated practice and perfecting the craft, by the time you get to wherever it is that you want to be, you'll be so far past that. And it's just like, bro, you got to just take it one day at a time, and just keep grinding, and yeah, you gonna get it.
Okay, let's slide this in. What can we expect from you moving forward? I know you. I mean, you own a barbershop. I know you've dropped merch. Like, are there any things that we should be on the lookout for? Of something on the horizon? You can tease it out too.
uh
You ain't got to pull all the cards out.
some's coming real soon. I don't know when like how long it's going to be in the future, but I mean, education has always been a very big part of why I do what I do and why I love doing what I do. So I'm gonna leave it at that, and you know,
Love it.
you
That's good.
just stay tuned.
Just enough. That's just enough. All right. Well, hey, Cray, thank you so much for joining us. Just like every episode I do, I have a link to some show notes where you can, follow. You can see Cray's Instagram. You can see his shop. You'll also be able to go pick up that T-shirt that we talked about, the Support Small Businesses T-shirt. Definitely go pick that up. Tell them I sent you. That's all, right? What do you think, Cray? The best way for people to do it would just be to go to your Instagram. You think that's the best place to go, and then go to your website from
Oh,
there?
yep,
What you think?
yes, sir. Yep, everything's on there, all the information, everything, and then I'm gonna put a little discount code for your podcast on that, and then
Okay.
let's get it, bro.
Okay. Cool. Well, we'll figure out what that code is, and then I'll put it in the show notes. And so, yeah, everything will be there. Even things that we've talked about in this episode. Some of the people that we talked about I'll make sure they're also linked in here in the show notes as well. So anything that piqued your interest, make sure you go check out those notes. All right. Okay. Well, dude, Cray, thanks so much. Thanks for being here. I know you're busy. And so to get a little bit of time with you, I'm super excited for people to tune in this episode. And make sure you go follow Cray and go cop that shirt with that discount code. Love that.
Hey, bro, I am honored. Hey, thank you for having me, bro. I really appreciate it, man. I'm blessed.
For sure. All right, y'all. We will catch you next time. Peace.
Peace, bro.